What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Big Ryan the Fat Guy Fantasy Football Playoff Draft. I popped on a little bit early just to let people get loaded in time for the draft, but we're planning to start the draft at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. It is currently 5:36 p.m. Pacific Time, so we're about 24 minutes off from getting this draft started. We've got 8 contestants, including the Fat Guy and I. I'm just going to wait for the Fat Guy to jump on. Dylan's in the building. Dylan, we weren't sure if you were going to show up. You can take over my spot. Well, my guess is you're ready to go. You've been planning. You've been scheming. You've got a plan for the draft. What's going on, Ernest? How you doing? I have Untouchable, to be honest. I have no clue what the order is. Fat Guy and I had it set, but because we've got some ringers coming in, I'm not sure how he wants to handle it. We haven't talked about it yet, so we're gonna figure it out live on stream. Of course you'd be in. We were waiting for an email back to get confirmation. You never email us back, so we weren't sure. But I'm happy you're here. The draft is better with you here. Oh, I never caught it. Either way, you're here, Dylan. That's what counts. Hello, Fat Guy.
There we go.
We've got the stream is up. DTF is in the building.
He jumped in.
Yep, he took over my spot. He's in.
Oh, but did he slide in the draft order?
Well, that Untouchable's asking what the draft order is, and I'm telling him I have no idea. So
Oh, I can set that. I can fix that right now because I already have a list. So, okay. What we should reseed so the guys that are coming in as alternates.
So Mickey and Untouchable are the alternates. I'm gonna put them at the end. Is that fair?
That's fair to say. So who did they take over? That's question 2.
Don't want to put that. Oh, don't want to put that either. I'm gonna take this off stream for a second.
I didn't see what happened, but probably doesn't sound good.
We've got Jameson selecting first. It looks like.
Yes.
Jeff never got back to us, so it looks like.
Couldn't cut the Mosterts out.
Yeah, and then Ike Sock, the 8th seed, never got back to us as well.
Wow, he's like a regular guy too. Well, these things happen.
Well, worst case scenario is they show up and we get 10 contestants.
I don't know. We did set a hard deadline. Dylan didn't follow it technically.
Well,
we're gonna let it slide.
Dylan said he did email us, so I'm gonna give him the benefit
I don't
of the
know. I don't know. Okay, so couldn't cut the Mostert and Callie Digstem are out, right?
I believe so.
So they're going to be replaced by Mickey and Untouchable. Correct?
Yeah. So I've got Jameson first, Dylan second,
Yeah.
Apurva third,
Yes.
Fat Guy fourth,
Yeah.
Show Me Your Touchdowns fifth,
Yes.
Pete Carroll's Gum sixth.
Yes.
I'm gonna have Untouchable 7.
Yeah, and Mickey's 8. That's what I got too. Okay, I can trash this spreadsheet. Perfect.
So Untouchable, you're gonna be drafting 7th. It's going to be a snake draft, though. So you're going to get the 7th pick, and then you're going to get the 10th pick, if I'm correct.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Just telling Untouchable that it's a snake draft. So he's going to have the 7th pick in the first round, but you're going to have the 2nd pick overall in the 2nd round, which should be 10th. What's going on, Mark? How you doing? All right, so let me open up a second Google sheet.
I'm finally
here.
on 3 screens here, Big Rye. This is exciting.
That is
I was
exciting.
down to 2 for a while. I'm on 3 now.
A picking defense first round is the move, right? It could be, Mark. Strangely enough, there is a possibility that defense could be the leading scorer at the end of this. It's not likely.
There actually is,
but it could happen.
What? Who would like Kansas City? That they you know you're gonna need a defense that plays all 4 games. What about New Orleans? Possibility if they win, like they say.
Mark, I'm just setting everything up right now. I'll let you know what position you're drafting from. Mark, you're 6th. So we've got, let me, first, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So we've got Suck My Ditka. It's going to be first.
Yeah.
DTF
I thought you had it all
second.
written out. Yeah, DTF is 2nd.
Then we have Fat Guy, you are 4th. Show Me Your Touchdowns is 5th. Oh. Pete Carroll's Gum, which is Mark, is 6th. Untouchable 7, Mickey 8. So that is the draft order. There's only 6 people here. They've still got time to show up.
I don't see a Dylan one. I really don't. I'm looking through it. We're going to take his word for it, though. He is Dylan Toddfield.
The most important part is that they showed up to the draft.
They showed up.
And they're here. Dylan's here. He's in. I'm going to make the chat real big for this one because the chat is actually probably the most important thing going on.
I got to give Dylan credit, though. As far as this fantasy season, he really pirated the waiver wire real well, and that was it was impressive. That for your first season, pretty good.
Oh, you're here, Dylan. That's what's important. I almost want to have this draftable player list up so people know and understand who they can be picking. Hopefully people have done some research beforehand. Fat Guy looks like he did some homework before, and he's got everyone listed that can be selected.
For the most part, you could really select, like, I don't know, a 3rd tight end if you want, but even that's listed a lot of the time.
Let's do a...
I don't know if Nick Chubb is worthy of a 1st-round pick. Because, Dylan, remember, if you select a player and that team gets eliminated, that's it.
Yeah, you want to pick the guys you think are going to put up the most points for the entire playoffs.
Or even play the most games.
So, for instance, like if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, they play 3 games total. Would you rather have 3 games of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or would you rather have 3 games of or one game of Nick Chubb if they end up going out in the first round. Those are the questions that you have to think about. Let's go to.
Well, Dylan, you also have to prepare that. What are you going to do if you lose your 100? You gonna fill up my Bitcoin wallet, Dylan? I'd be appreciative. Yes. Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. You got it.
I guess I can throw us right down here. And then
Jay with a good one.
all right. So we do have a list of players here. I'm just going to take Fat Guy's word that he has an extensive list here. 181 different players to choose from between quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. I think I can probably make this full screen. Let me organize one more thing, guys, and then we're gonna have our setup ready to go. So I can hide this, and I will hide this.
I hope it doesn't get that deep, Jay, in theory, but I did throw caution to the wind because Dylan is a wild card, so I don't know how deep he's going to go. Maybe he likes Notre Dame product, Cole Kmet. Mind you, they are playing the Saints, so that would be a tough pick.
All right. I think we are good to go as far as how things are looking here. Untouchable, I think you've got it right there. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex, a kicker, and a defense.
Yep.
So we've got it listed here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay as far as the different positions. We're going to do a snake draft. So we're going to move left to right and right back to left. So Suck My Dicka, Jameson is going to be going first.
Is Jameson in the chat yet?
So far, people I see are Dylan, Untouchable, Mark. We're still waiting on Jameson. We're still waiting on Mickey. We're still waiting on Apurva. And we're still waiting on Jamie. There's Apurva. What's going on? How are you doing, sir? I'll put a little one for all the people that are here. Dylan's here, Apurva's here, Fat Guy's here, Pete Carroll's Gum is here, Untouchable
There's
is
Mickey
here.
Hill.
Mickey is in the building. So we're just waiting on Jamie. Show me your touchdowns, and Jameson.
I think so. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to go, if he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, are we going to auto draft for him?
I can, if people aren't here, I will make selections for them because I am a neutral party in this as of now. And if they join, they will get to take over drafting for their team.
I do have an idea.
Jameson's in the house, so all we're waiting on now is Jamie. Jameson, you're drafting first overall. And once we get Jamie here, we'll have everybody here. Auto draft is lame. Dylan thinks that if they don't show up, I should get it.
I do have an idea as well for an auto drafting team. This is
Auto Rye.
I have an idea for an auto drafting team to make it fun. I have how many players do we have on the list?
We have 181 players, including defenses.
Well, what we could do is if you number them, could you number them 1 to 180 in maybe a separate form?
They are numbered, so technically,
yeah.
It'll be positional based, but I guess we can start off with all the numbers and then work our way down. Apurva says he wants this list. I can share it with you. Where's the? I guess I'll email it to you.
Oh, so they are numbered, right? You can. Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah, they are numbered, right? What we can do here, Big Rye, is perhaps take a random number generator from Google and put in the amount of slots that there are, and then hit the number, and that's the guy they get. It might be a fun experiment.
Apurva, click that link and see if we can get you. And then this stuff here. Let me.
You got to be careful whose toes you step on here, Dylan.
All right. You got it? All right, cool. Yeah, I see you joined up here. If anybody else wants it, just click on that link. And then you've got that list. If you want as well, if you click on the, if you go to wherever it is, filter views here, there should be the different filter views that you guys can check out. So we're just so far we're just waiting on Jamie. I'm going to also it's Jameson. This is one of the most fun things I think Fat Guy and I can both agree upon as far as very, very interesting strategies can go into this. Like, do you take really good players that might be out? Do you take players that might not be that good that might get to play 3 games? Like 7 points a game from like 5 points a game from Le'Veon Bell might be more points than Nick Chubb puts up in one. If Cleveland loses and Kansas City makes it to the Super Bowl, like it's one of those things where you really have to think about what you want to be doing. Let's see if I can pull up as well some future. There is no possible trades, Apurva, so you're drafting whoever you get, they're locked in. Even if they get injured, like you're hoops. So it's you pick your guys, you're locked in, and that's it.
Yeah, and a shout out to Jameson Griffith. I don't think I've seen a 13-0 season, or whatever that was. That was insane. Did he go 13? Is it 13-0? Because he got a bye.
He went perfect.
It was unbelievable. So you that's the one thing, Dylan. You can make excuses, but I mean, a perfect season. He's the 72 Dolphins. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he did now. It doesn't matter. This you put the hat on. What do you think of the random number generator idea? I mean, really?
I think it's terrible. I think that all auto draft for Jamie, and if Jamie shows up, he gets to take over. I think that's fair.
Well, I guess you win some, you lose some. Can't win them all. Only at the top.
I'm gonna write down the Super Bowl odds down here. I'm sure that might come into consideration for some people.
You get 9 picks. That's it.
The Dylan, I think we said 3 minutes. If you go longer than 3 minutes, I'm making your pick for you. Some of these people got places to be. It's late at night. So 3 minute max. Try to get your picks out as quick as you can, though.
Yeah, he's gonna do a timer on the thing. So should I do that ESPN noise? You know, when it's like,
Yeah, every time you should do it.
I'm gonna do it every
I
time.
think that's funny.
Since we aren't ESPN, we're gonna make the noise. Well, at least I will. You know, I'm a voice actor. I have one of the worst voices ever. I don't know how this became a thing. Whiny, robotic.
All right, I know everyone's in chat except for Jamie. Jamie, let us know if you have joined us.
He's still technically got a little while until it's his pick.
Yeah. These numbers down here, guys, are the Super Bowl odds. So if you're ever curious about who they think is going to make it to the final show, keep in mind that Kansas City, Green Bay have a bye the first week. So Kansas City and Green Bay players can play a maximum of 3 games, whereas from Buffalo to Washington, it's up to 4. Dylan liking the Saints at 7-1.
Well, he liked him at 3-1, so. Okay, here's the din-in-in.
That means that Suck My Dicka is on the clock. I will set the timer for 3 minutes. We will see how long it takes for Suck My Dicka. All right, Mickey. So as people are making their selections, I'll explain it to you. You get to choose 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex player that could be a running back, a receiver, or a tight end, 1 defense, and 1 kicker. We're going to take everybody's drafts, and at the end of the playoffs, we're going to add up how many points every team has. Whoever has the most points at the end of the Super Bowl wins. So, for instance, the real strategy for this is, do you take, like, Antonio Gibson plays on Washington as a running back, had a really, really good season. He might only play, well, he's likely to only play 1 game. So he might put up 10 fantasy points in that 1 game. Whereas somebody like, for instance, on Pittsburgh, like James Conner might play 2, maybe 3 games, depending on how well Pittsburgh does. Do you think James Conner is going to put up more points in 2 or 3 games? Or do you think Antonio Gibson would put up more points in maybe 1 or 2 games? So that's kind of what we're looking at, is you want to select guys that you think are going to make it far and put up a lot of points. Jamison Griffith was the first pick off the board, wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. I actually really like this pick.
I think this is interesting because he's going Bills, perhaps. Bills to go the distance, and this is perhaps the guy that's going to get the most points from the Bills. And this is an interesting pick. I kind of like it. So, yeah.
Give us the sound effect, fat guy.
Dylan
Toddfield is on the clock.
Wow. So a lot of people not happy with that Diggs pick. So that's looking like it might be strong here. I wanted him too. Yeah, well.
Stephon Diggs, what makes Buffalo so enticing is that Buffalo is the most likely team to play 4 games.
4 games. Yes.
So there is incentive to take someone on Buffalo instead of someone over Kansas City and Green Bay. So I think very, very sharp pick.
Sharp
by
move.
Suck My Dick. Already gone 13-0. Perfect. Won the playoffs. And then with his first selection, he's going hard with a Stephon Diggs pick.
That's a 13-0 pick. Well, yeah, it's coming from the king of the heap, right?
Dylan still has 2 minutes left on the clock to make his selection. There's some interesting players still on the board with only 1 player selected. You know, do you go tight end? Do you go quarterback? Do you, like Mark said, do you take a defense? Dylan Toddfield has made his selection, and it is
Drew Brees.
I don't think that's that much of a surprise. I also don't think it's a bad pick at all.
We shall see.
Drew Brees is off the board. On to Apurva, Guns and Arrows. Fat guy, let's do the noise. You are on the clock. I don't think he's wasting any time here. I think Apurva knows exactly where he's going. He's been playing coy. He's got his list ready. He probably still have. Oh, I think I know where he's going. I think I can enter it in before he even says it.
Wow.
It's a surprise. I am actually surprised by this one.
Well, he did tip his hat that he likes Buffalo, so I can understand this one.
A little tip of the hat, tip of the shades. Apurva selecting Josh Allen, 3rd overall, 2nd quarterback selected. Buffalo and New Orleans has been popular. Fat guy, I'm not giving you any breaks here. You are on the clock. Do.
I'm going to type it in chat, and then I'm going to say it at the same time. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara.
Dang. Alvin Kamara has been selected. And now we have Show Me Your TDs. Jamie, are you here? Jamie, say something in chat if you are here. If you're not here, I'm going to be making your selection for you. I'm going to give him 1 minute on the timer. So, Fat Guy, you talk about what made you select Alvin Kamara.
Well, you had a good point here, Big Rye. You had shown the odds. So who are the most likely teams to go 4 to go 4 games, and I think Kamara is the highest points above replacement of those two teams, Buffalo and New Orleans. Stiggs would be my next choice, honestly. There is a chance that Kamara doesn't play, but I mean, I have to. You got to go with what you got to go with, and I do also like their chances better of winning the Saints this week, considering they're 10-point favorites as opposed to 6.5-point favorites. So I'm taking a chance here. You have to be extremely risky in this type of contest. So that was my thinking on that one.
Jamie, if you're there, you got another 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to make your pick for you. Apurva, if Jamie doesn't show up, I'm going to be making the pick that I thought you were going to make.
Wow, this is a pretty obvious one, I would think.
Dylan excited for me to join this league. We got 10 more seconds. I feel like in wrestling, you know, when they give them the 10 count, like the extra long 10.
Oh yeah. When they're outside the ring and it's just like that, the ref swinging his arm.
I will make the first selection for Jamie, and I am going to select Patrick Mahomes for him. I think they are the most likely team to make the Super Bowl. I think that he is the best player in football, so I will select Patrick Mahomes. On to Pete Carroll's gum. Mark, you are on the clock, my fine sir. 3 minutes to make your selection. Mark's been quiet in chat, so I'm wondering if he's studying up, if he's ready to go. Perfa wants me to pick some nonsense players as well. Hey, you never know. I could get creative with some of these selections.
I heard a lot of good things about Jacob Hollister and Lee Smith. Those are the ones that have really, really been buzzing around the markets lately.
There's still some big names on the board as far as players that you can get. Mark, I hope you're there. You are on the clock. You've got 2 minutes left to make your selection. Pick a kicker in the next round. Hey, Justin Tucker might not be a bad fantasy selection. Hey, Dylan, that's just my lame opinion.
Wow.
And Mark De La Cruz with
first tight end off the board.
Travis Kelce, and how can you blame him? The most productive tight end in football. Did he set a record this year?
I believe so. I think he broke. Yards. He retook his record back because it was him and then Kittle and then him again, I think.
Give me that ESPN sound, and we got Untouchable on.
Live from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
we have
that was
Untouchable
I was hoping
Jay.
That was going to be my pick on the way back if he did make it. Untouchable trying to select players not in the playoffs.
Yes, Philadelphia, unfortunately, not making the playoffs.
That would be more of a homer pick than even Drew Brees from Dylan.
Yes, that would be. Oh yeah, I forgot. I hate the Saints, despite my first round pick being a Saint. The cheesesteaks are flying. I mean, let's see if there's going to be a boo. Oh, he's asking for time here.
You've got 1 minute and 55 seconds until we randomly pick a Philadelphia Eagle backup for you.
Well, if it's Sudfeld, we know we're in good shape, right? Suds up, bros.
Mickey is on deck. He's in the on deck circle, as they like to say in baseball. I want to know how Mickey's feeling for his pick. If he's feeling like he's getting a grasp for this.
On deck is like being behind the curtain during like wrestling, like a wrestling event. You know what I mean? But there's, when they started putting the camera or whatever back there.
Yeah. Mickey's on deck, but Dylan's
Adams.
on deck. Devontae Adams, wide receiver.
I like that selection. Green Bay Packers.
I don't even know if I spelled. I definitely did not.
No, you spelled it like Devonta Freeman. There you go. Mickey went with what I would consider a really good selection. It's DA. Aaron Rodgers. That is. Yeah, Mickey, you also get another pick. You're also on deck again.
Yeah, you've because of this snake draft, I do have to bring the chat down a little bit, which I thought I probably would because of the size. But Mickey, you are on the clock again. You get to make 2 picks in a row here.
J.K. Dobbins. I don't think that's bad either. Though he is gambling on a.
You got to take risks though, and Baltimore is one of the teams. It's probably high on Mickey's list.
Jay, you are on the clock now. Those are, despite a guy who said he's lost his last year's Easter egg, he made 2 quick fire picks, and Aaron Rodgers was, I was gonna 100% take him. So it would have been a quick pick for me if he didn't fall into me, but I don't even think he would.
We've got Michigan backhand in the house. You guys think that Michigan should make the next pick for Jamie's team if Jamie isn't here?
Well, we have a selection, Big Rye. Derrick Henry.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. By God.
I can't even believe Derrick Henry's still on the board in the second round. It is on to Mark. Pete Carroll's gum. You are on the clock. Mark already going with tight end. That is sealed up. Michigan, we are doing a fantasy draft for the playoffs. Mark going,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. I am on the clock. I actually have to think about this one. So let's go over this. Is Clyde Edwards-Helaire healthy? Is he playing? I have to do some research while this draft is going on. He'll be able to play in a couple of weeks, and that was on December 31st. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not going to be in. We have Aaron Jones selected. Devin Singletary is a player that comes to mind. Alvin Kamara off the board. Why don't I go with a little bit of a wild card here? I am going to jump on Tampa Bay running back Ronald Jones.
Wow.
I don't know if I like that pick already, but I've put it in. It's locked in. Fat Guy, you are on the clock.
It was on Fat Guy's radar. It really, really was. Ooh. I'm gonna go with the greatest playoff quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, for the Fat Guy.
Interesting selection from the Fat Guy. I agree, Jameson. I think it was a big reach for me, but hey, I don't have a lot of clout in this game, as they say.
Skin in the game.
There we go. Guns and Arrows, Apurva, you are on the clock. It is time for you to make your second selection.
That's my official. I'm officially submitting it with that chat entry. What's the news on Michael Thomas?
Let me take a look. I don't think he's playing. I think he is out. Or is he
Well,
back?
he's on IR. I don't know if he got activated, though.
He's on IR. He was expected to practice on Wednesday. He's been placed on IR since week 14. It says, barring a setback, Thomas should return for Sunday's wildcard matchup with Chicago. So I think he is on the right side of questionable. These are the players, Michigan, that have been selected so far by the 8 contestants. And you can draft anybody who is in the playoffs. What's happening to Tyreek Hill? You got 143 left. Let me pull up the Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill. He was inactive because of a hamstring last week. I have a feeling Tyreek Hill is playing. I don't see any news on him not playing. It looked like it was a precautionary week off for him in week 17. All right, I'll change your name to Pride. Apruva selects Tyreek Hill. When I was looking back on who I selected with my pick, Ronald Jones, I was thinking about how could I leave Tyreek Hill on the board, but I did. And now Pride is up with his second pick.
Devin
DTF.
Singletary.
Oh, he didn't even have to think about it.
No.
I was thinking about it. I mentioned him. I didn't like how Devin Singletary played in the regular season as far as production for fantasy, so I decided to stay away personally, but I don't mind the pick for this playoff scenario. Is undeserved All-Pro available? I'm not sure. I never looked at all the All-Pro. I saw Suck My Dicka is on the clock. So I will start the timer.
Thank you for the noise.
Oh yeah, who's getting that money tomorrow? I think
we'll see.
I think we will see, Fear. We will see. Yeah, for sure, Jameson. I haven't been tracking who it is. Is there a certain positional group that you'd like to see? We still have players like Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, Tannehill, Alex Smith, Lamar Jackson, Phillip Rivers, Mitch Trubisky, Taysom Hill as quarterbacks left. For running back, notable running backs, Gus Edwards. Let me pull up sort it by position. Notable running backs, we still have Gus Edwards,
James Conner,
Zach Moss, David Montgomery, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Jamal Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Darrell Williams for the Chiefs, Latavius Murray for the Saints, James Conner, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick. At tight end, we have Tonyan, Dawson Knox, Jared Cook, Vance McDonald. I believe we're missing. Is Eric Ebron playing?
He just got activated. He wasn't at the moment.
Okay.
At the time when that list was.
Jameson goes with Chris Carson.
That was more than likely going to be Fat Guy's pick.
And Jameson, you know the drill. You are back on the clock again. Dylan jumping the clock.
It's not your turn, Dylan.
Jameson, you have an interesting chance to cock block Dylan. Yeah, Fear. It's been tough to decipher who's going to get certain touches for the Browns between Chubb and Hunt, but they both get so many touches. I don't know if it matters. Who were the All-Pro selections in the NFL?
For what position?
Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill. It's always interesting to see who makes it in as far as linemen. David Bakhtiari at left tackle, Quentin Nelson at left guard, Corey Linsley at center. Right guard is Brandon Sheriff. Nice to see him in.
Sheriff.
And right tackle, Jack Conklin.
Yeah, the Browns got one, eh? Joel Bitonio made second team, and I think Wyatt Teller made. Browns had 3 offensive linemen make the Pro Bowl, that's a good sign usually.
For edge rushers, we have T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner as the 4 linemen. Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner, and Darius Leonard as the linebackers. Corners were Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. Safeties, Tyrann Mathieu, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Budda Baker end up with a tie. I'm not sure who you're talking about the undeserved All-Pro.
So how's our clock looking?
We have 56 seconds left for Jamison Griffith on the timer. Other notable, let's take a look at the receivers still available.
Lamar Jackson.
With Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I'm going to have to get rid of chat altogether at one point. It's just going to be not enough room.
Yeah.
And DTF wastes no time. He already made his selection in Michael Thomas. That means, Apurva, you are on the board. Check the second team. What's that beeping sound? Oh, that's the timer. Okay. The timer has reset. Oh, I thought my house was burning down. Let's look at the second team. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes tied for second team quarterback. Tight end somehow is vacant. I don't know how there's a vacant second team tight end.
Yeah, that was another thing.
So, Apurva, you are on the board with the third pick in the third round. And he goes
Godwin
with a nice receiver, and Chris Godwin. I do like that pick. Fat guy,
wow.
you are on the clock.
This is bizarre. This is going to be a bit of an interesting pick here. Where I was going to take a Tampa receiver, it just wasn't that one. Antonio Brown.
That is a polarizing pick, fat guy. I will say that. And I am on the clock. And I am going to be taking a look through at the different players I'm able to draft.
Oh, Jamie's here.
Yeah, Jamie, you can jump in for your own team. I will reset the clock. I have made your first 2 picks for you, and those are Patrick Mahomes and Ronald Jones. But Jamie, you are technically on the clock as of now for your third selection. These players here are who have been selected so far. But you're on the clock. Feel free to make your selection when you are ready.
The man showed up.
Oh, I see, Jameson. Yeah, just double click or double check that your streams are as live as they can be, guys. That way you're as close to us time wise, and that'll help with the draft. Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, he is.
Is that who you want for your pick, Jamie? I'm going to assume so if you asked if he's available.
There we go. DK Metcalf, big receiver. That was who I was conflicted with between Brown and Metcalf. Nice selection here.
I really like that Metcalf selection.
Yes.
Jamie, I apologize for the Ronald Jones. I panicked. I took him. Hopefully you don't mind. Mark, you are on the clock. All right, cool.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
The Seahawk is getting his man. Late third-round pick in Russell Wilson.
That's a pretty nice one. Untouchable, you are on the clock. I do like Untouchable's team of Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams. I gotta be real here.
So live from Philadelphia.
So Fear likes Suck My Dick as picks. Lamar Jackson, Chris Carson, Stephon Diggs so far.
You can't draft a second QB though, Dylan. So, AJ Brown, wide receiver, Tennessee Titans. Jason's going. He's dipping in on Tennessee. I don't mind it. You kind of have to back a pony in this.
AJ Brown is selected. Interesting thing to note, unless I am mistaken, I don't think one Pittsburgh Steeler has been selected so far.
Correct. No Steeler has been selected.
Mickey, you are on the clock. You've got back-to-back picks as well. Detroit one time saying Dylan's team is looking suspicious. Drew Brees, Devin Singletary, Michael Thomas.
Now, a little advice to Untouchable Jay. You don't need to take a quarterback until the last round because no one else can take one from you because they can't play it. So, realistically, you could inherit Ben Roethlisberger or Baker Mayfield or whomever you choose. So you can leave that to the last round. Or John Wolford, whatever you like to do.
I'll take a look at what Mike Evans' status is. Mike Evans he plans to play, but I believe he is questionable. He's officially listed as questionable after getting in some practice work late in the week. It's possible that he plays in a reduced role, especially if the Bucs jump out to a big lead. This is all just
hearsay.
Guessing. He's questionable, Mickey. I will reset. I don't think I reset it for Mickey, so. It looks like Mickey made the selection already. Cam Akers. I didn't even see that.
Oh, you didn't see it? He's got a second one, yeah.
Cam Akers is what's available wide receiver. Let me take a look for you.
Tyler Lockett, Mike Evans, Juju Smith-Schuster. What's his name? Other Steeler. Deontay Johnson.
Sammy Watkins, DeMarcus Robinson, and McCole Hardman. We have Marquez Valdez Scantling. Alan Lazard still available. John Brown, Cole Beasley. Gabriel Davis still available. For the Saints, you still have Emmanuel Sanders. And
Traquan Smith.
Yeah, he's not listed there, so not sure if he's playing.
He's injured.
Probably the best wide receiver still on the board are the Pittsburgh Steelers, to be honest, with Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster, as well as Deontay Johnson. Tyler Lockett, still a very good receiver on the board. Corey Davis on the Tennessee Titans. Terry McLaurin on the Washington football team.
There it
Marquise
is.
Brown. Mickey goes Alan Lazard. Who else do we still have here? Untouchable, you are on the clock. I will reset the timer. We also have all the Browns receivers still available. Cooper Kupp is Robert Woods. Robert Woods is still listed. And Cooper Kupp. T.Y. Hilton as well. And Michael Pittman Jr., Zach Pascal. Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, and Anthony Miller. And Cordarrelle Patterson as well. An interesting receiver to take in Cordarrelle Patterson.
2 ways, but you kind of need a win.
I don't know. Lazard had those huge games, so I could, depending on matchups, like you never know. It's only a couple games. It could pay off.
Well, people are going to double Devontae Adams, so I mean, I can understand it. So
The other thing too is you want to get guys that you
Gonna
feel
play.
like are going to play multiple
Gonna
games. And Green Bay is a fairly safe one. Untouchable went with the player who I was still surprised was still on the board with David Montgomery. I think the only thing probably making people shy away from David Montgomery is they are pretty big underdogs, the biggest underdogs for the week. Mark, you are on the clock. Tyler
Lockett.
Mark with a very strong team so far. Russell Wilson, Aaron Jones, Tyler Lockett, and Travis Kelce. Looking pretty good for Mark, if I had to say. Jamie, you are on the clock. I will reset the timer. I don't believe any Washington players have been selected so far. Was David Montgomery the first Bear to be selected?
Yes, he's the first Bear. No football team player has been selected, and no Steeler, it looks like.
Yeah, I still think no Colts have been selected. I think Cam Akers is the only Ram to be selected.
Jamie Gonzalez with his selection. Pittsburgh wide receiver Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson is off the board to Jamie. Fat Guy, you are on the clock. I know, Fear. I can't believe Fat Guy went with Tom Brady over Alex Smith. That's something that I'm pretty disgusted with myself.
Pittsburgh Steelers running back James Conner. Lock it in.
James Conner for the Fat Guy. Apurva, you are on the clock. There are still 6 running back slots open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receiver slots open. Still 7 tight ends to be selected. Flex still hasn't been filled yet. Hasn't been enough draft. People haven't taken that same position, so flex still open. Defense and kicker all still available. Michigan backhand, yes, all the Bears receivers are still on the board, including Allen Robinson.
I believe there's an injury to Darnell Mooney, though, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to check that. He's questionable, and that was 6 hours ago.
Apurva jumps into the tight end game, and he selects Robert Tonyan. Pride, you are on the board. Or on the clock, I should say.
Dawson Knox.
Not messing around. Suck my dick on the clock with the double pick. The first pick or the last pick of the 4th round. I will reiterate, guys, there is $100 prize for coming first in this.
Correct.
So you guys make sure you guys beat the fat guy so he doesn't pay himself.
I wouldn't mind doing that. I'd prefer to keep 100 USD. You gotta remember, we're Canadian. That's like 127. You know what I mean? And our like, jeez, that'd be better. It's 100's a yard. That's a yard and change. A couple sawbucks in a yard.
And that's the best it's been in a while. It could have been 140 something a couple months ago.
You know, that means I got to miss a meal. Not that I shouldn't, but.
2 minutes left on the clock. Jonathan Taylor with the selection.
Interesting. He's got another one, though.
Jameson, you are on the clock for the next pick. Jonathan Taylor is limited, but I got a feeling he's going to play.
He's going to be fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing to know. I believe that is a Dalvin. It's a Jared Cook. Jared Cook. Yeah, Dalvin
Beetlejuice. Oh my god! I just got really lucky here. I got really, really, really lucky. I'll explain why when it's my pick.
Why? Because you got a tight end coming up as your pick.
I did, and they can't pick one. So,
Pride, you are on the clock.
Awfully quiet from the DTF.
He's focused.
Laser focus.
Yeah. We're getting to see Chess Dylan tonight. That's what we're seeing.
Oh, is it? We're getting Chess Dylan? 2,300 Dylan?
I think so.
That's a really high rating, by the way. Like, really high. Or 2,100, whatever
he puts a whole new meaning into the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, For once, Big Rise humor lands, and that was a natural laugh. Eyebrowless Dylan? Absolutely. Can we get a couple in the chat there, Jay? Can we drop a few emojis if that's possible? There it is. 0 out of 6 eyebrows. Yeah, there we go. 0 out of 12 eyebrows. Oh, that's the best emoji in the world. How's Dylan's clock going?
There is 1 minute and 6 seconds on the clock for DTF.
Let's line up.
He still has running backs available, receiver available, defense or kicker. Could we see Dylan pull a trigger on a defense? I think we might.
I wonder which one it is. Sinead O'Connor? Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Although I don't recall Dylan ripping the picture of a pope in half, but nothing compares to him, I guess. Cup
There
up,
is
bro.
30
Jason
seconds
Finley.
on the clock for Dylan. He might be doing a
Marquise Brown. I didn't see that coming at all.
Apurva, you are on the clock.
Hollywood Dylan. I like that. I like that. These ones are going to be a bit tougher picks. It's getting down there, getting to the nitty grit. No Browns have been taken. We have a couple Steelers have been taken now. No, was it? We got one Colt. So who's all the remaining teams that have no selections? I think it's just the Browns and the football team. Give me Emmanuel Sanders. Whew. Oh, one Ram. Yeah, one Ram. Emmanuel Sanders has been selected, wide receiver.
The first flex position player that we have received Guns and Arrows with Tyreek Hill, Chris Godwin, and Emmanuel Sanders. Fat Guy, you are on the clock.
I already got it in. Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end Robert Gronkowski.
The interesting selection. You were going heavy on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here.
It's what I have. I would have went heavy with New Orleans. I would have went heavy with Buffalo, but people went Buffalo hard early. So I got to take the next kid at the dance, and they have the best chance at advancing in the first round. I also like there's a matchup between Cole Holcomb, the linebacker on the football team. He's the weakest part of that team, so he plays a lot of man coverage. So I kind of like, from a handicapping perspective, Robert Gronkowski's chances against him, considering, and then I also too I got three kicks at the can between Brady, Brown, and Gronkowski. Even though against the spread, I like the football team, oddly enough.
Jamie, you are on the clock. Da-na-na. Fear thinking the Fat Guy was going to go with Jonnu Smith, who is still available.
Yes,
Three tight ends left between Show Me Your TDs, Untouchable Jay, and Mickey. And
Jonnu Smith it is.
Jamie goes with the selection. Mark Pete Carroll's gum is on the clock.
In the league where they play. For pay. I don't even like the Bucks.
Yeah, you've gone with a... You're building a fantasy team like Tampa Bay decided to build their actual team. Tom Brady, Antonio Gibson, Antonio Brown, Robert Gronkowski. Man, this team would be awesome 5 years ago.
Yeah, they're okay now.
Congrats on selecting all the best players from 5 years ago.
Well, there you go.
Hey, I selected Ronald Jones in the second round.
So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Jamie's going to have to pick up the pieces of his life.
Yeah.
When he just couldn't get home 5 minutes earlier for you to just blow his team up in one fell second-round pick.
I like the DK Metcalf pick, though.
I think it'll be... That's probably the best player on the board at the time. Wide receiver
on Corey
Davis.
Some big games this year for Corey Davis. Untouchable, you are on the clock. Yeah, Fear, I know. I'm making fun of the fat guy selecting all these
Bucks.
bucks
And
and
you picked a Buck before I did. No, yeah, you did.
yeah, because you started with Kamara, so
Yeah, I
technically you
did.
took Brady after.
Oh yeah, that's a big Rye special. Have no receivers and just pick him up as he goes.
I had a game this year where Corey Davis scored.
17.
Yeah, he had a good game. Untouchable on the clock. Obviously, quarterback is not the way he should go. He needs a
It's
tight
locked
end.
up.
He needs a running back or a receiver to fill out his flex. Could we see Untouchable go defense or kicker early on? He goes Mark Andrews at the tight end position.
Tight end. That is Mark Andrews, a little underperforming season. He's probably the second best tight end out here from a talent perspective. That's not bad. I don't mind it. I don't like gambling on players from that game because I think that's going to be a tough, tight game.
Mickey,
The
you
Tennessee
are on
and Baltimore
the clock.
on the
Yeah,
clock twice technically.
Yeah, Tennessee, Baltimore is a tough one.
So close.
The
The
same with
rivalry
Seattle.
game.
The Seattle LA Rams game as well has a close spread. Obviously, the Kansas City Green Bay gets the bye, but the Saints and the Buccaneers looking like the safest team as far as the spread goes to make it through to the next round. What tight ends are available?
Don't
Mickey,
don't take a tight end, Mickey.
You can wait till the very last pick to take a tight end, but let's take a look at who there is.
Why he's saying you can wait is because everyone else is already selected, so there's no urgency for you to take a tight end. Unless, of course, they're taking a tight end for the flex, but that's very unlikely. So I would fill every position other than tight end. So
You still have Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham on the Bears, Austin Hooper, Harrison Bryant, David Njoku for the Browns. The Colts have
Tyler Higbee,
Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox. The LA Rams, you got Higbee and Everett. The Steelers has Eric Ebron. Seahawks have Greg Olsen, Will Dissly, and Jacob Hollister. Buccaneers, you can also take Cameron Brate. I don't know if O.J. Howard's not listed here, so I'm not sure how he's doing.
He's injured. He's out for the
and
year,
Logan Thomas had one hell of a end of the year, who is also a flyer pick, really, if you are going to be taking Logan Thomas.
Mickey had a question.
And Mickey, you still have a flex, so you have a wide receiver spot open. You have a flex spot open to take another running back if you so choose to. But I would definitely suggest leaving tight end to your last selection. And you've still got a minute on the clock to decide, Mickey. And then you'll have another 3 minutes after that.
Oh!
The New Orleans.
Oh, that was my next pick. Oh, God, that's a good one. I think that's the best value there is left. And,
Mickey, you're back on the clock. New Orleans
that's
Saints
so
defense.
annoying.
And he goes Justin Tucker at kicker. So locking up probably the two. I'm going to go out on the edge and say probably the two best fantasy picks at defense.
That was actually
kicker.
really strong.
Congratulations to Mickey on those picks. Back on to Untouchable. You are on the clock. Mickey's team's looking strong. Especially like, imagine a Saints Ravens Super Bowl. Man, this guy would be set fantasy wise. Guys, both of these guys could play all 4 games, like as far as the Saints defense and Justin Tucker as well. Untouchable going with a receiver at the flex position in John Brown.
That makes sense too. I'm okay with that.
Mark, you are on the clock with Pete Carroll's gum. Still have a running back spot open, a flex spot open. So really you can choose a running back, a receiver, a defense, or a kicker. Logan Thomas had such an unbelievable end to the season.
Yeah, he looked really good too.
For a fringe roster player to turn into this good of a tight end.
What, top 7 tight end?
I'm trying to think of other tight ends that have done this, where they've had kind of ho-hum careers, then all of a sudden they like
Darren
take
Waller?
off. Yeah, Darren Waller. There's another guy. It happened to a couple years ago, and he just went from nothing to something overnight.
Yeah,
Deontay Johnson went. There is still two prominent Steelers wide receivers still available.
Schuster and Claypool he is mentioning. No Browns been taken. Very interesting. No football team players been taken. No one has faith in the Browns to win this game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire
taking his shot. I don't mind this because he might be back in time to play. I think that is an excellent value selection this late in the draft. And
taking a shot. Yeah, you kind of have to. Do you have to get lucky in this? No, Jay. It's a Ron Popeil style fantasy setup. So it's set it and forget it.
Jamie, you are on the clock.
No drop, pickup, nothing. This is what you got. You got to go with this.
You're locked in.
You're locked in. Yeah, it's. I've done this for. Oh man, I just got smoked twice. Oh, Jamie, that was my next pick.
Fat guy, you were on the clock.
Well, now I need some time. That was such a.
You got 3 minutes. Figure it out.
I don't like that. Really?
Apurva thinks Mark with Pete Carroll's gum is in the lead so far. Russell Wilson, Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyler Lockett, Corey Davis, and Travis Kelce.
Will Lutz.
Will Lutz is the fat guy's selection. Interesting pick, fat guy. The number one kicker as far as pre-season ranks for fantasy this year, and fat guy is going to die on the sword with Will Lutz. Guns and Arrows, Apurva, you are up next. You are on the clock. Yeah, at least it wasn't a buck. I think that's. I think that's.
Well, I almost went suck up because I might as well have.
If only Dan Bailey was available.
Yeah.
Apurva still has 2 running back slots open, a defense, and a kicker slot. Interesting names like Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt still on the board, Antonio Gibson. Apurva jumps on with Zach Moss. I think that's a nice selection to make at this stage of the draft. Pride, you are on point. It is your selection. T. Bass. I believe that is a kicker. I think that's Buffalo's kicker. Is it Tyler
Yeah,
Bass?
Tyler Bass. Yeah, it sure is.
Tyler Bass locked and loaded for Pride. And Suck My Dicka, you are on the clock. Back-to-back on the clock picks. He's going a Juju, Smith, Schuster. And you are on the clock again. Flex spot still open, defense or kicker for Suck My Dicka. Yeah, fear. Nobody wants Chubb. Nobody wants Hunt. There is 1, 2, 3 more running back spots open, plus all the flex. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still up to 10 running backs could be selected. And
I made a mistake
with the
That's who I should have
Steelers
taken.
defense.
Great pick.
Pride, you are on the clock.
It's my only mistake so far. Gus Edwards. Gus the Bus.
Gus the Bus. Edwards is off the board. Apurva, you are on the clock.
Nick Chubb.
Apurva goes Nick Chubb, the first Brown selected. Fat Guy, you are on the clock. You still have a receiver spot open. You have a flex spot open. You have a defense spot open.
Made a mistake. I should have taken Steelers D instead of Will Lutz, but we're going to go, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Tampa Bay defense.
Ouch. On to Jamie with the next selection. Boy, am I ever going to be happy if the Washington football team upsets the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first
I want
round.
them to win, to be honest. It's just the
now
math
it'll be
is
extra
low.
sweet.
Yeah. I don't like Tampa Bay, but they have a reasonable chance at playing 4 games.
Yep, Fat Guy's got 3.5 fingers on JPP. As Jake Jacobs would say, it's a 3.5 star JPP entertainment game.
Yeah.
With Jamie on the clock, I will say this. I think this is one of the more fun things we've been able to do on the channel. I'm really enjoying this draft right now.
What is going on?
Jamie's got a running back spot open, a flex spot open, and a kicker spot still open. $100 prize on the line for whoever can put up the most fantasy points over the entire playoffs. Yeah, Purve. There's very interesting strategy that goes into this. I kind of wish that I didn't do it. I wish I put a little more effort into the pre-draft process in this to be able to give you guys rankings at the end.
I did a little homework. I feel as though I got the best. I felt the first overall player should be Kamara, considering the amount of games possible to play and his position and the likelihood of winning the first game. But I had Diggs high on my list. I will be real. So I can get behind that because Diggs is probably the highest points above replacement player on the Bills, and the two most likely teams to play 4 games are the Saints and the Bills. So those would have been of my first two. Yeah, exactly, Purva. So the value gets distorted, right? So I really felt the two best players to start were Kamara and Diggs. So
I don't know, Dylan. It's going to be too much work for not enough value there.
Fat Guy's going to spend time with the old lady after this. Although she is 10 years younger, so who knows?
Dylan, I'd have to go through and make customized projections for every single player for every single game. That's not going to happen. There's going to 10 of you would actually not even 5 of you would care. 3 of you probably be like, who gives a shit? I'm not watching this. The timer is up for Jamie.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Wide receiver, Green Bay Packers.
Mark, you are on the clock. Yeah, oh no, me and Mickey finished again. Yeah, this timer sound is terrifying.
I can't hear it. It's kind of nice.
Oh, it's terrifying. Here we go. Mark, you are on the clock. You got a flex spot open, a DST spot open, and a kicker spot still to select from. Hey, it's you can get out to an early lead, have guys that play, and he selects kicker Jason Myers. Untouchable, you are on the clock. Mark, I had to double check who Jason Myers played for. And for anyone who doesn't know, he's the Seattle Seahawks kicker.
Thank you.
Untouchable selecting a quarterback. I'm gonna call it right now. Way too early, but he goes Ryan Tannehill. That's locked in. That's locked in. Untouchable.
I would have waited, man.
Yeah, I can't help you there. Mickey, you're on the clock. It's an interesting strategy to take some of these guys that could put up like monster games in week 1 but might be out. Because there's no guarantee these guys are going to be like, guys are going to get injured. Some guys aren't going to, play that much. Some guys are coming off of injury. Cooper Kupp is Mickey's selection.
So, look,
Mickey, you're on the clock
go ahead.
Again.
A Perva, think of how low risk Nick Chubb is for him. Because, okay, the Browns still have a chance. Like the Browns have what, a 32% chance of winning, 29 in that range. It would, think about it. He doesn't have any Steelers, so if he gets lucky in that game, he now has a strong player going forward, and everyone else is hurt because all the Steelers are gone. Mickey wants to know the tight ends. So you could go Tyler Higbee from the LA Rams.
There's Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox still available on Indy. Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett from the Rams. You've got, is Eric Ebron selected?
No, he is not.
Eric Ebron is available for Pittsburgh.
He got activated.
Cameron Brate's available for Tampa Bay. Logan Thomas is available for Washington. Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham still available on the Bears.
Don't forget, though, nobody is going to take a tight end, though.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to take a tight end. So you're going to have that.
Austin Hooper as well. All the Cleveland Brown tight ends still available.
But nobody's going to take a tight end unless they decide to use it as their flex, which I think is very unlikely.
Yeah, you're much better off taking a flex first and then a tight end later, because you are not going to have a lot of flex options once it comes back around. You've got this pick to select a flex spot, and then you're going to take a tight end with your last pick.
Your last pick, yeah.
It's Mickey's pick right now. Mickey has 1 minute left on the clock.
Pretty much looking at running backs and wide receivers.
For
backs
running
available?
Backs, let's take a look. I'll pull up running backs.
Jamal Williams. Latavius Murray.
I'm going to put
Leonard
up
Fournette.
I'm going to put up another minute on the clock so we can go over it. Baltimore and Buffalo running backs are taken. Montgomery's taken. Kareem Hunt's still available. Jamal Williams still available. Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins still available. Le'Veon Bell still available. Darrell Williams still available. Latavius Murray is still available. The Pittsburgh backups are still available. Carlos Hyde and Rashad Penny still available. Leonard Fournette still available. Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick still available. Ronald Jones is going to play over Fournette if he's healthy.
He wrote team a bunch of times, which...
if you're talking about the Washington football team, Antonio Gibson's still available.
Yeah, all of them are.
Oh, the teams? There's...
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore, Buffalo, Chicago, Cleveland, Green Bay, Indy, Kansas City, LA Rams.
Okay, I'll run it through real quick.
Washington football team still has Antonio Gibson. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers still has Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy. Seattle still has Carlos Hyde and Rashad Penny. The Steelers still have Benny Snell Jr. and Anthony McFarland Jr. The New Orleans Saints, you still have Latavius Murray and Ty Montgomery. LA Rams still have Malcolm Brown available. Kansas City Chiefs, you still have Le'Veon Bell and Darrell Williams. Indianapolis Colts still have Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins. Green Bay Packers still have Jamal Williams and A.J. Dillon. Cleveland Browns still have Kareem Hunt available. The Bears have Artavius Pierce. The Bills, you could pick from Tywan Jones. And Baltimore, you still have Mark Ingram and Justice Hill.
Kareem Hunt.
Going to go Kareem Hunt with his flex pick. Untouchable, you are on the clock. I came into this draft thinking everyone would pick running backs, and hence I will pick Diggs, Hill, and Devontae. Yeah. Yeah, you ended up with Hill, Godwin, and Emmanuel Sanders. The first pick through your strategy, yeah, with Diggs gone. That's what makes these drafts interesting. Untouchable, didn't hesitate. Buffalo's defense.
I think that's good. I think that's a strong pick there.
Mark, you are on the clock with still a flex or a defense to choose from. Yeah, this draft is it's interesting, that's for sure. You know, because even if you do select, Mark goes with Chase Claypool, who I think might still be the best player on the board.
Probably, yeah.
Jamie, you are on the clock. You've still got a running back spot open and a kicker spot open.
Running back, he can leave, though, because everyone else has... they're going to fill out their
There's
flex.
still
So
flex spots open, so running back is a probably
Yeah.
going to be more sought after than a kicker. What backs are left, I'll take a look over. We still have Justice Hill, Mark Ingram, Tywan Jones, Artavis Pierce, DeErnest Johnson, Jamal Williams, AJ Dillon, Naeem Hines, Jordan Wilkins, Le'Veon Bell, Darrell Williams, Darwin Thompson, Malcolm Brown, Latavius Murray, Carlos Hyde, Rashad Penny, Leonard Fournette, LaShawn McCoy, Antonio Gibson, and J.D. McKissick. Jamie, you got 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock.
Antonio
And he takes
Gibson.
Antonio Gibson.
He's a good player.
Excellent rookie season for Antonio Gibson. Fat Guy, you are on the clock. You've got receiver and flex still available.
I'm going to go with... this is a guy I hate, and I take him... I end up with him all the time. Kansas City wide receiver... Sammy Watkins.
Fat Guy's having a rough draft. On to Aperva, guns and arrows. Defense or kicker still on the board. Aperva's going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, which is Harrison Butker.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Pride, you are up next. Flex or DST? Take your pick. Latavius Murray, not even a hesitation. I like the Latavius Murray pick for Dylan. Suck my dick, flex and kicker spot open for you. I'll set the timer. He said saving yourself with backups will ruin your draft, so I want to see where he goes with this. Just listing off the backs. There's actually one running back in my head that I find really, really interesting. But it definitely is a risk. And there's still got to be some receivers available that are going to be getting playing time and playing. I'll run through them as Jameson ponders his pick. He still has 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Demarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman still available. I don't know if he's playing, but Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis still available on the Bills. For the Saints, is Traquan Smith playing?
He was, I think, on injured reserve.
So probably
I gotta
not.
take a look. Probably not.
James Washington still available from the Pittsburgh Steelers. David Moore still available from the Seattle Seahawks. Khalif Raymond still available on the Tennessee Titans. Probably the most talented player still on the board. There's a couple, actually. We've got Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver for the Washington football team. And I'm
McLaurin's
also looking
awesome.
at it now. Robert Woods still available as a wide receiver for the LA Rams. Baltimore still has a plethora of receivers, including Dez Bryant and Miles Boykin and Willie Snead. I don't think anyone took Mike Evans, did they? Or did Mickey?
Mickey might have. You got to take a look.
Mike Evans has not been selected. Jarvis Landry has not been selected as well. Fear, thanks for that. Heads up. Even guys like Rashard Higgins and Donovan Peoples-Jones still available. Cooper Kupp has been selected. T.Y. Hilton still available. All the Indianapolis Colts, there hasn't been one receiver taken. I don't even think they had a tight end taken. So,
No.
Colts not heavily represented in this so far. And then the Chicago Bears, Allen Robinson. I might take it back. Allen Robinson might be the most talented guy. Maybe I don't know if I'd put him in front of McLaurin or and Jameson goes with Jarvis Landry. Pride, you're on the clock. A defense or special teams you get to select. I don't think it's going to be long for Dylan to make this pick. Or yeah, sorry. Suck My Dicka is taking Mason Crosby. I totally forgot. He's back to back. We now are on the last pick of the draft for everyone. Dylan goes with the Baltimore Ravens defense. Apurva, your last selection, you get to pick a defense or special teams. Interesting to see that one of the Super Bowl favorites is still available. Purva was thinking Baltimore, but they were just selected by Dylan Toddfield. Green Bay is still available. The Seattle Seahawks are still available. The Rams are still available. The Titans are still available. The Browns, the Colts, the Bears, and the Washington football team. Green Bay is still available. Oh, Purva, you've got 1 minute and 45 seconds. It's, well, Green Bay is a bigger favorite, but the Rams have a chance to play 4 games, so they have a potential.
And they had
to
the
get
best
more
defense maybe in the league.
points. Yeah, the Rams. I think the Rams' defense is slightly better than Green Bay, but I think Green Bay is more likely to play more games than like the Rams might be 1 and out. They're actually underdogs the first week playing Seattle, so it could be 1 and out for the Rams. But Green Bay could be 1 and out too, depending on who they play in their first game. Yeah, there's still possibility. Fat Guy still has a flex spot open. That's it. Fat Guy is the only person that can take a running back or receiver now. Purva takes the Green Bay Packers. Fat Guy, who do you want to take as your
It's a 50-50 between Le'Veon Bell and Mike Evans. I can say that because it can't affect anybody else's draft. So what I've done here is I have an attendance counter, and so Beard, could you say odd or even? And whatever it is, if it is even, I'm gonna take Le'Veon Bell, okay, hold on. If you get it wrong, I'm going to take Le'Veon Bell. If you get it right, I'm going to take Mike Evans. So just say odd or even, Fear the Beard. I thought he was the quickest to respond. Even.
You went even, Steven.
That's a Le'Veon Bell.
Well, that's too bad. Le'Veon Bell is the Fat Guy's flex selection. He went Pittsburgh heavy here with James Conner, Antonio Brown, Oh, never mind. Man, you really did pick the best team 5 years ago. I want to congratulate you on that. Jamie, you're on the clock. No, Mike Evans was not selected. He was talked about, but he was never selected. So Mike Evans is officially not a part of this.
Well, he is injured technically.
Jamie is going to pick Ryan Suckup.
That's the best kicker available. I think that's pretty obvious.
Mark, you are on the clock for defense.
Who does he have left? Washington. Well, Washington's got a great defense, just unlikely to continue.
He's
Seattle
going with
all in.
The homer pick on Seattle. So all the defenses are selected. Washington and the LA Rams were not selected as defenses in this 8-team selection. Untouchable. It's up to you now to pick your kicker. He's got Steven Gostkowski. And at tight end for Mickey has had plenty of time to think this over, who he wants to take at tight end. I'm going to go out on the limb and say Fat Guy to me is the least favorite. I think he's got a shitty team.
I actually really like my chances, believe it or not.
Let's take a look here. Let's just take a look. It's tough. It's tough because there's just so much to calculate. And Dylan knows my calculator's broken, so who knows what could come out.
No, Roland. I thought Roland Walton bought you a new one.
I do think that I think Mark has a very strong team.
Mickey's just needs a rundown real quick on the tight end so we can wrap her up.
Yeah, for sure. So, unfortunately, I don't have any of the tight ends other than Mark Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens. For the Buffalo Bills, Lee Smith is still available. For the Chicago Bears, you have Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham still available. For the Cleveland Browns, you still have all three between Austin Hooper, Harrison Bryant, and David Njoku. For the Indianapolis Colts, you have Jack Doyle or Mo Alley Cox. For the LA Rams, you have Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have Eric Ebron or Vance McDonald. Seattle Seahawks, you have Greg Olsen, Will Dissly, and Jacob Hollister. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you still have Cameron Brate. For the Washington football team, you still have Logan Thomas. And Mickey goes with Eric
Ebron.
I'm not going to officially enter, but I am going to make a 9th team.
Out of scrubs?
With all the players left over. To see if I can humiliate any of you guys who didn't who weren't up to snuff when it came to this draft. So let's take a look over this. We've got which quarterback? Ben Roethlisberger.
That's
has
the guy
best
for sure.
Odds. So I am going to go with Ben Roethlisberger as my quarterback.
Jamal Williams.
I know you guys can't see this. Let's see. Middle monitor. Now, for running backs are going to be interesting.
You don't have many. Jamal Williams and maybe Darrell Williams. Those are kind of...
Oh, let's take a look. Is Mark Ingram playing? What's going on?
Not really. He hasn't been playing all year. I don't know why.
Chubb and Hunt were taken. So Jamal Williams We still have Naeem Hines.
Oh, AJ Dillon too. AJ Dillon had a great week 16 or 17 or whatever it was.
I know.
Cam Akers of
James Conner.
Benny
Carlos
Snell.
Hyde. Fournette. And McKissick. So, to me, receiving backs, Naeem Hines and J.D. McKissick are interesting to me. We also have Carlos Hyde. And we also have, I think my dark horse for this playoffs is Darrell Williams. So I am going to go... I'm going to go Darrell Williams as my first selection.
Gus the Bus is on Dylan's team.
I'm not taking Gus Edwards. Now I have to decide between. I'm gonna have to go Jamal Williams because Jamal Williams is actually gonna play. And then maybe I'll hold off on taking a third running back. So let's take a look at the receivers still available. Is Cole Beasley going to play? Cole Beasley, Roto-World.
Confident he will go.
He's questionable, but I'm going to go with... I haven't even looked over the list. I'm going to go Mike Evans for sure. I already know people are regretting not taking Mike Evans. I'm also going to go Cole Beasley. And... Let's go back to this list and take a look. All the Steelers guys were selected. David Moore's still available. I don't think anyone took Terry McLaurin, did they?
No.
Or Robert Woods.
No.
I'm gonna go Logan Thomas, and I am gonna go Terry McLaurin as my flex. For defense,
Washington. You have to gamble here.
Well, I've already gone 2 Washington players, but there is a team with better odds in the first round than the Washington football team. Also, technically, a better
Cleveland?
defense, and that is the LA Rams.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah.
And then for kickers, Crosby's taken, Butker's taken, Will Lutz is taken. Who's kicking for Tampa Bay?
Ryan Suckup.
Ryan Suckup is taken. Justin Tucker is taken. Jason Myers is taken.
Chris Boswell.
It looks like I'm going Chris Boswell. The first week warrior. This is what happens when you get the leftovers, though. You got to take your chances. I don't have much choice. So I end up with the leftover team of Ben Roethlisberger.
No,
Darrell
you wrote
Williams.
it Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, thank you. Ben Roethlisberger, Darrell Williams, Jamal Williams, Mike Evans, Cole Beasley, Logan Thomas, Terry McLaurin, LA Rams defense, and Chris Boswell. Even Robert Woods was left off of my squad. So that was a tough one. I think I could oscillate between Cole Beasley and Robert Woods, but we'll see. We'll see. It's very unlikely I win, but I'll throw my name in the hat just as to have some sort of rooting interest in this.
All right, gentlemen.
Approve. I think the guy who took you out in the finals never actually participated in this. He never got back to us or joined the live stream. So, and Approva said it. David Moore. I was thinking about David Moore. I think, Fat Guy, you and I can both agree. David Moore has played some has made some unreal plays, let's say, in his career. Even though he's not like consistent, he is one of the good luck charms that the Seattle Seahawks have had against the spread, I guess you could say, over the years.
It's one way of putting it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping by for this. We will have to figure out. Let me just share this link again. So if you guys haven't, just make sure you guys check that out. It's unlikely Washington goes ahead, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that Washington can get it done. You guys shouldn't be able to mess with this stuff at all. I'll copy and paste it into a completely different spreadsheet just to make sure. And we've got it on live stream anyways, so it won't matter too much. But that is done. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Fat Guy, do you have any plans on which games you want to live stream? Are you able to live stream the Washington game tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? Yes.
So we are going to be doing the Saturday night game, and then we'll probably end up doing the Cleveland-Pittsburgh Sunday night game as well. That's what I'm guessing our live stream pattern is going to be. You available Sunday night as well?
Of course. That was locked up at the start of the year.
Perfect.
Tomorrow I will be here for I really want to see the Washington game. So yes, definitely.
All right, cool. So if you are on the membership, you guys can catch us in the Discord. Otherwise, we will catch you guys on Saturday night for the live stream. Washington football team and Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. I'm excited about that. I know Fat Guy is too.
Yeah, big time.
We will catch you guys. Yeah, congrats, Apruva, on the draft. I do feel like there are some strong teams here. There are some weak teams, but we will not know who is going to be the winner until all the games are said and done. We will catch you guys later.